Welcome back to the parking lot. Oh, I forgot to mention yesterday that, I was, but I will mention today that today it is 57 degrees. And, well, things went up Fahrenheit. And I don't know why so many people get, a little bit weirded out by the Fahrenheit thing. I'm like, guys, it's just because I don't want you to think that we're living in the outback here or something where the western desert lives and breathes at 45. Oh, that song used to freak me out because back when I was younger, I didn't figure that was at Celsius. So I'm like, are you kidding me? That's like a fall day here. But okay, the show is a dismal failure. Why? Because, see, we got freaks and gatekeepers, which is what I'm going to name this one site. Freaks and gatekeepers. And also you've got the Nardi and all that. Guys who, if you look at their picture, they're a classic example of, what, middle-aged adult males look like when they're jerking off too much, have declared the show a failure. And I also wanted to tell you this. You saw on my one video, which, by the way, they filed a copyright dispute that they aren't refuting the claim. They're just going to sit back and wait 30 days for it to disappear. Because they know they've been got. He's one of the ones I think that's up there on that, the big, everything's a dismal failure board. Mr. Diversity, 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 shouts it like 3 times in under a couple of minutes. I'm sorry, but every time an actor who's not white or male comes on a screen and you suddenly start feeling your penis shrivel, you've got psychological issues. You seriously need to go see a doctor, and not about your erectile dysfunction, but I'm talking about some very, very personal issues. I don't know if mommy and daddy hugged you enough when you were children. I don't know what happened. Maybe there was a trauma in your family. Your uncle bounced you up and down on his knee the wrong way a couple times. I don't want to know. But the fact that there's an outbreak of this going on online is just, it's beyond sad. It's bad enough that we got guys screaming appropriation if I wear a sombrero or something like that. Or I'll never forget when I did that cover with Chibnall, wearing the Indian headdress. I had that many people told me I should take that picture down. And I told them no. Well, that's appropriation. I go, yeah, and how many children are now walking around screaming anti-Semitic rants on college campuses wearing Arabic kaffirs? Greta Thunberg, the infamous, I'm now the expert of climate change, is now out there marching around with a keffiyeh wrapped around her neck, screeching about now how she's an expert on the Middle Eastern war. And that seems to have become the problem with online sites. Everybody is now an expert in everything, especially if it's something they don't like, something they fear, or something that, gives them weird vibes. Like I said, I can genuinely tell you why I did not like Devil's Court. I can sit there and run it through it. But I'm not going to come online and say everything was a dismal failure because I said so. And that's basically what these guys are saying. They're acting like, I'm the voice of the grand majority, and oh, by the way, because of the fact I've got so many tens of thousands of subscribers, I must be right. It doesn't work that way. The devil has a few billion followers according to Christianity, but that doesn't mean that, if you're into the whole religious thing. I'm usually not, but I'm just using this as an example, so bear with me. According to the thing, Satan's got a whole lot of followers. Does that mean he's right? If you want to speak that way, I'm sorry. I'm not trying not to be religious. I'm just giving an outrageous example. Everybody knows the difference between right and wrong. You should be able to feel it in your gut, especially if you came up in a good environment, or at least with somebody who said, look, this is right and this is wrong. When people start dictating to people what they believe is right and wrong, and if you don't act a certain way, then that's when I tell them usually to F off and walk in the other direction. And sadly, that's what a lot of these guys are doing. And I've noticed it's more guys than anything that are on these crazy rant wagons. Especially when I've looked at the chart provided to me by Silly Wee Films, Frasier, and Doctor Who was in the top 10 in most countries. There was quite a few where they were in the top 5. Yet the show's a dismal failure. Funded by Disney. That's the favorite one of the nardy now. And it's like, just because Disney gave them money does not mean Disney has any creative control over the show. Disney gives them money for them to air the show on their streaming platform at a certain time. Okay? Exactly. We got Boom coming up this weekend. Also, we now know that Steven has written the Christmas special, Joy to the World. But like I said, I told you all this a while ago. I almost didn't believe myself when I said it, but yeah, that Steven wrote 2 episodes for this first upcoming series. And I don't know why he did. If I was him, I'd be running, screaming in the other direction. I don't blame him, that he stayed away for so long. Same thing with RTD. It's like RTD, the only reason I want to call him crazy is because I want to say, you wanted to come back to this. Just like Chibnall. I wouldn't blame Chibnall if he never wrote a thing for Doctor Who again. Because suddenly even the good episodes he wrote weren't good enough. Well, sadly, Grant, yeah, I believe so. The way we're talking, yeah, it's going to be the Doctor standing on a foot landmine or whatever. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see. All right? A lot can happen on a landmine. But I wanted to say was this morning. And because I've seen gatekeeping, and I love how I've actually watched people gatekeep on, Twitter, now known as X. And then when I had the nerve to call them on it, all their buddies tried to hop on me, and I just, And they were doing this over and over and over for a while. There was a couple of days this went on. She's not a gatekeeper. How dare you? I'm like, well, do you want me to quote this for you again? I just blatantly ignored them, actually. And that's usually your best bet. Whatever you like, as long as it doesn't involve an axe and teenage kids in some camp. It's one of my favorites. As long as you're not harming yourself or harming others, frankly, I don't give a crap what you do on this planet. But when you start enforcing your views on other people, if they don't agree, and what really makes me sad is a couple of these middle-aged masturbation junkies are now being recognized on international news programs. And I'm sitting there like, I start flashing back to that one episode of the Orville. Remember the planet where if you got enough dislikes or something, then they removed you. And it almost scared me the way I keep thinking of, wow, today's society, are we on our way to that? Could we end up like that? It's kind of frightening, isn't it? And yes, like I was telling everybody, you ever have one of those days you wish you had gone to work? Monday was one of them. Because Monday, I finally got some sleep. I go, okay, I'm going to go mow the lawn. So I did. Well, almost. Something got wrapped around one of the blades. Popped the belt driver, the belt that drives the blades. And something else popped. I don't know what. I know one of the things is loose. And now I effed up my mower, which they did pick up. I'm hopefully going to get it fixed. Then I decide, okay, I'll go do some weed eating since the mower is now out of, I'll go get caught up on that. Well, I have this trench running through my backyard. It's like a small mountain range where they replaced my septic line. The one they never bothered to flatten out, that I now have to wait for Mother Nature to do, because I don't have anything to level it out with. So I'm out there doing some weed eating along that, and suddenly this little critter, no bigger than my palm, than my fist, shoom, goes shooting out of the grass. I go to take a look to see what this is. My left foot goes from underneath me. Now, when I was like 17 or 18, we used to have a self-defense guy, come in for Sea Cadets when I was in it. One thing he taught me, and sadly I didn't remember this till about a minute after I hit the ground, if you're going to take a fall, tuck your arms in and turn sideways and let your body absorb the blow. Sadly, I did not remember this line because it's been over 30 years, and I stuck this hand out. This hand now hurts. I would get an electric mower, but I have over half an acre of land. I've had an electric mower before. It's not that bad, but still, it's quieter and it's lighter. But then I thought, okay. So I get up and I start weed eating a little more, but I move further down to get away from the bunny rabbit. Another one comes running out. At this point, I said, that's it. I took the weed eater and I put it away and I went back inside and I'm like, I'm getting out of here before something else happens. So in the course of a day, I could have been at work. Yeah, I would have been a zombie. Yes, I would have been halfway dead. Yeah, I might have struggled through the day thinking every minute's lasting an eternity. But on that day, I effed up my hand, I effed up my lawnmower, and scared to death 2 little poor bunny rabbits. Yeah, by the time I get done mowing the lawn with a push electric mower, it'll be grown out again. But okay, so, I did not run them over. I gave them a wide berth. They are fine. The poor little things were so scared after they got a couple feet, they stopped moving. And I'm like, oh, thank God the lawnmower did go out, because this is an area I would have gone over the main lawnmower. Okay, I don't know why you're going on about the pyramids, because I can tell you for a fact, we built them. We just don't remember how. Sadly, we have a whole chapter of our history that's missing. Yet you've got all these guys claiming to be experts and they know what happened when. Easter Island, let me tell you something. You're living on an island. Okay? Your people have been out there since the beginning of your recorded time. It gets hot in the summer. So you're going, and the only shade you have other than going in the caves are trees. So you cut down all your trees to use as rollers for statues. Even common sense tells me that's a crock of shit. So like I said, also, we do not know how big Easter Island actually was before the ocean levels rose. They're assuming that everything that happened after a certain time. And here's the rub of it, though. Next time you look this up about Easter Island, before we go, because I got to get going. There are Moai, which is the name of the statues that live on Easter Island, or, well, they don't live. I mean, they're the statues that are on Easter Island. You know, the ones that look disturbingly like Matt Smith. The Moai. There are Moai made out of basalt. There are no basalt mines on Easter Island, at least not above the water in its current state. And also remember, the sea levels went up how many hundreds of feet after the last big thaw in the Younger Dryas of the Ice Age. I think the civilization's been there a lot longer. Those statues are probably a lot older because you can't carbon date a statue. Think of that today as I go inside because I'm running mine. Take care, everybody. Please be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. And whatever you do, don't listen to these waterheads online. Oh, God, that's an insult to waterheads. Don't listen to these a-holes. Doctor Who is doing quite well. Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.